Welcome everyone into the third space tonight. The virtual third space, because we run this particular practice in the virtual space. And what a blessing it is that we get to do this. We get to hang out in this way, hold space together in the presence of divine love. Beautiful. So tonight's practice is a sacred stillness practice. And yeah, so I'm just going to jump right in as we gather together. So we're going to transition, and when we're meeting in the virtual space, sometimes it's a little more challenging to transition because, you know, we've been doing things in the space that we're in, and then suddenly we're sitting down and expecting ourselves to, you know, kind of come in and focus. So we're just going to gently do that, and we're going to gently do that by moving our bodies slightly and adjusting our posture so that our thought consciousness, or our mind can slowly begin to settle. So let's begin by taking a couple of breaths and really feeling the air flowing in through the nose, down the throat, deep into the belly. Just 2 or 3 of those kinds of breaths. And then we're going to move our shoulders, and we're going to move the top part of our body. So we're going to breathe in, and we're going to lift our shoulders up, breathing in and lifting up to the bottom of our earlobes as high as we can, feeling the tightness. And then when we exhale, rolling the shoulders back. Might even hear a bit of crinkling happening, rolling the shoulders back and down. Pausing for a moment. And when we're ready, taking a deep breath in, lifting the shoulders up to under the earlobes, and then reaching and really pressing the chest out as we exhale. Might like to wriggle a little bit at the bottom of the breath. And again, breathing in and lifting up. And rolling back. And when we get to the bottom of the breath and the bottom of the roll, taking another breath, and as we breathe out, let's do a big sigh. So breathing in and then sigh. Breathing in and then a big sigh. Just releasing everything from today. One more sigh, breathing in and breathing out. Allowing our bodies to get back into their own natural rhythm of breath. Everything that we do in our meditations is an invitation. You don't have to do any of these things that I'm guiding us in, just an invitation to do that. And you are free to move your body and get comfortable and really settle into a position just as you choose. Whatever it is that you need to do in this moment. Feeling the flow of air in and out of the body. I invite you now to do something that we haven't done in our meditations before, but as we breathe out, I invite you to lift your hand up to one of your shoulders and gently brush off the concerns of the day. So whatever comes to your mind when you think about the concerns of your day, just brush them off, brush them off. Brush them off one arm, brush them off the other. Breathing and brushing off the concerns of today. brushing off the cares, brushing off the concerns, letting your body know that you're free today, tonight, to just rest, to come into a place of peace. Allowing the thoughts to be brushed away if that's what you need to do. Noticing the thoughts as they're coming into the mind, into the center of consciousness in our mind. Noticing them. And then releasing. Releasing the cares of the day. Releasing the concerns of life. Noticing the thoughts. We observe them much like we observe the clouds passing across the sky. We just observe them, and just like we don't engage and we don't reach out and touch the clouds, we allow our thoughts to drift past our mind in much the same way. Just noticing, watching them go by. Leaving behind a clear space. Blue sky, if you like. Giving ourselves permission to rest in that quiet place. The internal voice falling silent. Giving ourselves permission to be quiet, permission to be still, permission to release the cares of the day. Only we can do this for ourselves. Perhaps it will be helpful to allow our internal voice to remind us by saying, I give you permission to be at peace. I give you permission to rest. Giving our body permission to rest also. Noticing any areas of tension that we're holding. Noticing any areas of pain or discomfort. With each breath out, we let that go. Perhaps noticing the flow of gravity over our bodies. Activating our imaginations. Perhaps imagining the flow of water or honey or something sweet, something refreshing. Maybe even some prosecco, something bubbly, whatever it is that your imagination likes to play with. We imagine the flow over our bodies, and we don't resist the flow. The gravity draws the water down, and with it takes all of the stress out of our bodies. And we notice the gravity's touch on our foreheads and around our eyes. With each exhalation, we release, noticing any tension in our jaw and around our mouth. We draw the air in and then we exhale and we release, 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 releasing our jaw and our chin and releasing the back of our neck. Feeling it, feeling the flow over our shoulders, imagining and feeling the flow, sensing the gravity, sensing it in our bodies. This is a moment of rest. We release our bodies into that rest. We notice our core, our bellies. We notice how our bellies move with the breath. And we just release our core all the way down to our sit bones, flowing down our hips and our thighs, noticing the gravity over our knees. Beautiful, restful, flowing, releasing, everlasting, holding, the gravity holding us, connecting us with the earth. We have an attitude of gratefulness towards our legs and our ankles and our feet that connect us to the earth, the gravity which holds us. Beautiful. Noticing. Just noticing. Whenever we notice our thoughts re-engaging, we just release them. Just release them. No criticism, no judgment. Just releasing them. So we stay in this place of stillness. We allow our awareness to move down from the center of our mind, from the center of our thoughts, allowing our awareness to drop down into the core of our being, into our spirit. Our spirit consciousness, our spirit awareness. And as we sit in this place, I invite us all to think about a time, to consider a time when we had that gut feeling, when we listened to our intuition, when we felt a knowing, thinking and feeling and remembering what that knowing felt like, how it sounded, the emotions that it brought. Perhaps a memory of making a call to a friend at just the right time, or following an intuition. As we pause in the memory of that, we allow our awareness of the presence of divine love, the presence of God, to slowly move into our spirit consciousness first, becoming aware of the presence of the Spirit of God, engaging with our senses, communing with us. Feeling in our dreaming that sense of love, that sense of guidance. And we open our hearts and our minds and our senses to hear the message of the prophet of old, who declared the message from God: I have loved you with an everlasting love. Out of faithfulness, I have drawn you close. A message from the one who loves us. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Out of faithfulness, I have drawn you close. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Out of faithfulness, I have drawn you close. We are invited to be drawn close in the sacredness of stillness, in the place of peace. From the center of our being, we are invited into the everlasting love, invited into the embrace. We notice any areas of resistance within us. We notice any thoughts of yes, but. We notice them. We are reminded of the invitation to be drawn close, drawn into the embrace. Invited into the divine dance. To be held in that embrace. To be comforted. To share joy. To feel the warmth of that embrace. Yahweh invites us in. Perhaps in our imaginations, we can see a spiral shell. We are invited in, we are drawn in to the inside of that shell, being drawn in deeper and deeper, closer and closer, nearer and nearer, held in that place of safety. Perhaps we imagine that spiral shell being immersed in water, immersed in love. The shell being immersed and water flowing into every empty space. Just flowing, flowing in and through. Divine love also flows into every space within us, flowing into every wound, flowing through every sorrow, flowing with great joy, every moment of content, of beauty, flowing through every pleasure, the water delighting, divine love rejoicing. Everlasting love flowing through. The water flows seamlessly around the shell. Will we allow the divine love to flow through every space, through every emptiness, every loneliness, And also every joy, every laugh, every moment of happiness. The everlasting love drawing us close. We allow our senses to begin to sense again the environment that we're in, moving back into our thoughts, into our mind, becoming aware. Becoming aware of our environment, the sounds that we hear, the temperature of the air, the ground beneath our feet. Perhaps the beating of our heart even. And certainly the flow of air. We become aware of our body and the space that we're in. Continuing to give ourselves permission to be in this place of peace. Taking this place with us. Taking this state of being into the rest of our day or night. Being reminded of the words of the prophet of the old. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Out of faithfulness, I have drawn you close. As close as the very air we breathe. And we breathe the air in through our nose, down our throats, deep into our bellies. The life-giving breath, the breath of life, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and out, perhaps giving our neck and head a little roll. Stretching. Allowing the blood to flow, the shoulders roll. Gently and slowly beginning to blink open our eyes, noticing where we are in the space that we're in. We belong in this world. We belong to one another. Be at peace, my friends. Shalom.